Good day, everyone. Welcome to Mindful Monday. Today's question has a bit of a longer explanation, so without any further ado, I am just going to start off. The question I received is: my wife and I am getting a divorce. How do we explain this to our children? So thank you so much for sending in this question. I think this is an extremely relevant and also very important question for us to discuss. Most of the children I see come from divorced families, and most of them is struggling to deal with the aftermath of divorce. And this is because separation or divorce is highly stressful and emotional and experience for everyone who is involved. But children often feel that their whole world has been turned upside down. It doesn't matter how old the child is, it remains an extremely traumatic experience to see the dissolution of your parents' marriage and the breakup of your entire family. So children may feel shocked, uncertain, angry, and many of them, most of them, feel guilty, blaming themselves for the problems that has happened at home. So how do you tell your child of the pending divorce? Should you even tell them, or should you just go on? This may seem like an unlogical question, but I need to tell you that a lot of the children I see, um, their parents haven't even told them. So the answer is an astounding yes. You do need to tell your children that you are planning a divorce. Always be honest with your children because they are much more clever than you think they are. And your children are entitled to know what is going on in your family. It's after all their family and their lives too. So if you are someone who tends to freeze up in stressful situations and events, it's good to make the conversation a little bit easier on both you and your children if you prepare beforehand what you're going to say when you sit down and talk. If you anticipate tough questions from them, deal with your own anxieties ahead of time and plan very carefully what you're going to say to your children. This will help you to be a bit better equipped and to deal and handle the news when you tell your children. If it is at all possible, please have both parents present when you tell the news to the children. I know it isn't always possible, but it is best when you tell it to have both parents there if it is possible. So I know the parents don't like each other very much at this point, but try to have a conversation with each other beforehand. After all, you loved each other enough to make children, so please love each other enough just to tell them that you are breaking up your marriage. So have a conversation with each other beforehand and choose how much information you are going to give the children and what exactly you are going to tell them. Because sometimes it's not good to tell and give the children all the information depending on how old they are. So just talk to each other and decide what you're going to tell them, depending on how this is going to affect them. This is not the time to play the blame game now, especially not while you are telling the children about the separation. So this is not about you when you are telling them. This is actually about the children. So the best way to do this, and this is in a very idealistic world, is to sit the family down and ask the children whether they have noticed that you and your partner have been arguing a bit more the last time or on a regular basis. And most probably the children will say yes. They have noticed that you have been arguing more or things haven't been going that well. And then you can explain to the children that sometimes in life relationships don't work out or people just don't get along, and that you have decided um, to get divorced or to go your separate ways. It is extremely important at this point to explain the practical implications what this will have for the children to them. This will be if they will have to change homes, addresses, if they will have to change schools. So tell them now what will change and what will be the same. Because remember, your children also have lives and friends, and they've seen what happened when their friends' parents split up. So they have an idea of what can happen. So assure them now what will be the same and what will change for them. Also emphasize here, this is extremely important, that it is not their fault and that they couldn't have done anything to prevent this, and that they can also not do anything to change your decision. You should also assure them at this point that you still love them, that both partners still love them, and that you will continue to love them, even though your relationship isn't working out and will not work out in the future. Most probably at this time, your children may have emotional reactions to the news, and it is okay. They are allowed to have emotional reactions. And here is important to comfort them and provide comfort. And that's why both parents should actually be present if it is at all possible. Also ask them if they have any questions and answer the questions at an age appropriate manner to them. Never just ignore their questions or avoid their questions, because this provides or causes additional trauma which will be dealt on later again. So just answer their questions in an age appropriate manner. There's a very thin line between providing enough information and providing too much information. Children should also not have too much information and then worry about things that's actually adults' responsibilities. From there, you can check behavioral responses. It is normal for a child to struggle during a divorce and to struggle with adoption. It's a difficult time for the whole family. So watch out for any red flags, and if you are at all concerned, it may be time to seek additional assistance. All the best in this process. And remember to take care of yourself too. This is going to be something a bit more difficult. So subscribe to my channel and follow my page on Facebook. We will also delve into some other additional issues related to divorce and children during this week. See you next week.